Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about manifestation and give you some manifestation affirmations. Some of these may be affirmations that you already heard, or even some of this will be advice that you've already heard. So if that's the case, I'm just here to remind you to continue to do these things so you can manifest your desires fast AF. Okay, so I'm going to start off by picking cards from this oracle deck that I have and then give you some actual affirmations from this other deck that I have. Okay, yeah, this is called Visions of the Soul. I got it in Mexico City. I love this deck so much. Okay, like the amount of spiritual downloads I get by using this deck, or even just downloads about manifestation, about life in general, are insane. I love this deck so much. Okay, the first card we have here is the Cosmic Tones of Light. Now you're thinking, how does this possibly relate to manifestation? So, if you think of light, okay, if you think of the actual light we see outside, right, with the sun, so that's light that already shone on the, oh my gosh, yeah, that's light that was already shining on us 8 minutes ago. So light is actually the light that we see from the sun is delayed by 8 minutes. Same with the stars. Okay, a lot of the stars you see in the sky are already dead, or they've been expired for years, and we're just now getting the light. So that's the same with manifestation, you guys. Everything is done in the 4D. Everything is done the minute you think about it. Okay, it's just a matter of the 3D reflecting that, and there doesn't always have to be a delay, but this is to really tell you that listen, you are so powerful that if you just became light yourself, if you just operated from other dimensions, if you think of light, think how powerful it is. Can we function without light? No, we can't. We need the sunlight, we need light from different sources, right? I wouldn't be able to film this without light. So become the light. That's why a lot of spiritual people say love and light, you are the light here, right? Yeah, I feel like that's also self-concept, I am the light, because sometimes I channel in my tarot readings, you are the light that you shined your bright light on someone that really changed someone's life, right? And light also has to do with perspective, so change your perspective on the situation. Light is energy, right? It's what we're focusing on. So now, as we know, manifestation is also about what we're focusing on, right? Where your thoughts flow, energy goes, right? Or where your energies, yeah, something like that, right? Y'all know what I mean. I always get confused with that quote. Yeah, where your thoughts go, energy flows, right? So if you want something to occur in your reality, you need to shine your light, aka your attention, your thoughts, onto that thing. Okay, you are the light. Technically, nothing would exist if you didn't even exist. Okay, if it wasn't for your consciousness, the thing that you want, the love that you're trying to manifest, it all exists because of you, because of your consciousness, and because of where you're directing your energy, aka your light, to. Okay, this is a little bit more spiritual than I expected. I know some of my manifestation videos are a lot more just sciencey, because I've really been talking about robotic affirmation. This is definitely more on the spiritual side, right? So just is this the right word? Conflate light with your thoughts. Shine light on certain things, shine light on the reality that you want. If you do that, then the reality you don't want won't have that light on it, right? Because even though you are your light, and your light can shine everywhere, think of the flashlight on our phone, right? If you shine it on something, if you look behind you, you won't see the light in other places, in other areas, right? Maybe it'll slightly reflect or refract or whatever. But anyways, I'm getting too technical. But my point is sometimes you have to have tunnel vision of whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. That's what I should have explained. Okay, have tunnel vision for the thing you're trying to manifest. When you do that, you will collapse other realities and other timelines that are not in alignment with what you want to experience. Okay, that's why people say light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, but in order to reach that light, you literally can't see anything else, or you can't see what's outside of the tunnel, right? So that's the same thing that you have to do with your manifestation. If you want to collapse other realities, other timelines that you don't want to experience, even the current one, then you need to shift your attention and focus and shine your light somewhere else. Okay, yeah, I think I just like this metaphor of light, and relating that to thoughts and energy. There's so much that can be said about light, but yeah, I definitely need to do more research on this. I know some people on here, like, you know, they on like YouTube talk about like, you know, light as a frequency, light as, you know, like they literally go very deep into the science of even light. But the first thing that I thought about was, you know, the light that we get from the sun is a little bit delayed. The light that we see from the stars is a little bit delayed, right? So like you can relate that to like manifestation in so many different ways. So it's like the reality that you want exists, it's just gonna, you know, and time is very subjective, right? Like something I've noticed is that like time is like, it's not real, or it's like it's just so weird. It's not the way that we perceive it to be. Everything's happening all at once, okay? But what we're experiencing is just what we're tuned into based on our thoughts. So like, you know, a lot of law of attraction, like spiritual people will say, you know, match the frequency or vibration. That's the same thing as just thoughts. Your thoughts are your frequency. Like, what are you thinking? And I'm not saying you have to be high vibrational to manifest or anything like that, but in order for you to get to the reality you want, okay, you have to think thoughts in favor. Your mind is like the vehicle that's going to get you there. Okay, your thoughts are like the driver, right? Like you have to like instruct the vehicle via your thoughts. You have to instruct your mind via your thoughts, and you will get to where you want to be. You'll get to the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I thought that was like a fun little, you know, card pull here. Like sometimes I like it when, you know, people give metaphors, when people give like, I guess, what do you call, like, some people just have like, you know, stories that they tell about manifestation, like the whole thing about like, you know, the stars light being delayed. Okay, it helps you, at least for me, it helps me understand manifestation on a deeper level, because at the end of the day, all manifestation really is think thoughts in your favor. But you know, there's so many different ways of that really sinking into our minds, okay? Because a lot of us, like, you know, we grew up practicing, like, even if you think of math, right? Like, you probably understood addition, like, the minute, or maybe not the minute, I don't know, yeah. You know, like addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, all of these operations, you probably honestly just had to do a couple of problems for you to really understand it, but they kept giving you problems after problems after problems. Like, you understood the premise. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You understood the premise of how to add numbers, of how to subtract numbers, right? But like teachers, whatever, you know, would give you practice problems so that you could hone in on your abilities. That's the same thing with manifesting. So you understand what manifestation is. There's really not a lot to be said about manifestation other than just think thoughts in your favor. But there's so many, like, you know, practices that you can do in order to manifest, so many forms of manifesting, right? So many different modalities that you can use to manifest. There's all these neuroscience facts that will help you reaffirm, or, you know, just like form faith and confidence in manifestation as a whole, as a concept, in your own manifestation abilities, right? So that's definitely something that you know, you have to remember here, that you have access to any reality you want. It's just a matter of you thinking your way into that reality, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and pick some affirmations. I know a lot of you guys like affirmations, like self-concept, law of assumption type affirmations. Because I'm spiritual, I like saying I am the light, you know. I brighten up people's lives. I create a ripple effect of positivity, right? Because light does tend to reach a lot of other, you know, places, right? Depending on how it's shown. Oh my gosh, what is the term for light? Like, is it? Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stop talking there. But you guys know what I mean. Yeah, I need to manifest better English for real. Like, I have all these like thoughts in my head, but I'm just like, how do I like articulate this? I need to get better at that for real. But like, that's kind of how reality is. Everything's happening all at once, but you're just tuned into, like, you know, one specific frame of it based off the dominant thoughts that you're thinking, based on what's saturated onto your subconscious mind. And the best part is that reality is malleable. Like, I talked about this in another video, but reality is malleable because our brains are malleable via neuroplasticity, because reality is nothing but a reflection or projection of our subconscious mind, right? So yeah, you know, and what gets projected on the screen is, oh, I just got a message during this video, wow. Like, what gets projected on the screen are the thoughts that you're thinking. That's going to be the content of like, what's being projected. If you think of like an actual, you go to the theaters, you watch a film, right? Like you see the screen, and then you see like the film projector, and then you see like, what's actually being projected. That's like literally, the brain consciousness reality right there. So yeah. Anyways, let me go ahead and give you some self-concept affirmations, that you can be using. Okay. I love this. I am limitless. I can accomplish anything I want. I am limitless. I can accomplish anything I want. I always accomplish everything that I set out to do. I succeed and thrive in everything. I always excel in life. I excel in every area of life, okay? My life is perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything just works out for me perfectly, okay? Rampage these, okay? Rampages are so fun, especially when you feel kind of annoyed or you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want movement. I just want something to go my way. Rampage, 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 okay? I'm limitless. I can do anything. I'm perfect. Everything always works out in my favor. Okay, reinforce your faith in your own manifestation abilities. Reinforce your faith in you being the operant power of your reality. That's one of the biggest things that you have to understand, okay? Like you are the operant power of your reality. Everything that you say goes, okay? So yeah. Or only what you say goes. That's the thing. Like only what I want to happen happens. Only my positive thoughts manifest. Okay. I only focus on positive thoughts and experiences. This is also a big one. Sometimes our brains can like, start thinking of negative things. 99 things could be going well and you think of like that one thing. You need to hack your brain to not do that. Okay. Like you can spiral upwards. If you can spiral downwards, you can spiral upwards. So I only focus on positive thoughts and experiences. Okay. I only focus on the good. I only manifest the good. I only manifest positive thoughts. Okay, this is really effective in helping you create that new story. Because I know for a lot of you guys, you're trying to manifest specific, people, right? And you're trying to manifest an SP and you're having a hard time dropping the old story. So just think of the positive things that they did do. There's nothing wrong in thinking that. There's nothing wrong in looking back at text messages, pictures that remind you of like, the good aspects of themselves. Okay, you need to think so many positive thoughts that it overrides the negative thoughts. That's literally the premise of manifestation. That's all there is. And I'm not saying you only need to think positive thoughts all the time. Okay, sometimes negative thoughts will come up. But what are you feeding those thoughts? Because at the end of the day, thoughts. I remember someone on YouTube, I think her name is Davy Sietaram. Yeah, she said like thoughts are like entities waiting to be fed. What are you feeding? And what are you feeding those thoughts with? What thoughts are you giving your energy? Okay, negative thoughts will come up, but you don't need to give them their energy, right? It's kind of like the TikTok or Instagram algorithm. You will get videos that may not be like, of your interest. Just click not interested or just swipe, just scroll, whatever, That's exactly what you have to do with thoughts. If there are certain thoughts you don't like, certain thoughts that you just don't resonate with, they don't make you feel good, literally just form the self-concept version of that. Think of the opposite of that thought and affirm for self-concept. Because see, thoughts are also just, showing you what you need to focus on. Okay, if you keep getting a certain thought and it's a recurring thought, switch that up. Affirm the self-concept version affirmation of that thought. So let's say you have a thought where like, you think of the times that you've been betrayed or hurt, or maybe, like in the past, like you could have been in relationships where you didn't feel respected. I've always been respected. I've always been supported. I've always been prioritized. I've always been valued. Okay. Because also think about it, like the past is not really the past. There's no such thing as the past. Everything that's happening is happening in the present moment. The past is just your perception of what's happening. And if you change your perception of the past, you can change your perception of the present. You can get rid of limitations. You can form a brand new future. You have always been committed to, okay? You have always been financially stable. You have always received loyalty, support, love from people, always, okay? You have always been deeply cared about. You have always been, chased in love. You have always gotten the job that you wanted. You've always gotten the person that you wanted. Your love has always been reciprocated. Okay? Just say these things. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. There's no point in dwelling in the past when you can literally change the past. And then, change the future, change the present, be happier in the present. Because again, everything is happening in the present moment. The future isn't even real. It's just your perception of, the different possibilities that can occur. Okay, so I mean, like, what's the point of like worrying about the past, the future, when all you have is the present moment? Okay, like the more invested you are in the present moment, okay, the faster things manifest. Okay, like because think about it, you're spending less time thinking of the old story, which again is just your perception of what happened in the present, and because you're spending less time thinking of the old story and you're infiltrating your mind with all these affirmations, then you're creating a new future. You're literally collapsing timelines and potentialities for the future that you don't want by replacing it with what you do want. And that's literally all there is. Just think good thoughts in the present, or think positive thoughts in the present. Even if you don't believe it, that's okay, for you to be in the most abundant timeline for the future, which again is just like, that's just a term. The future doesn't actually exist. It's impossible for you to be in the future. Even if you think about the future, it's just your perception of the future, right? So yeah, because everything is a wave. Everything is a wave until observed, then only becomes a particle. Okay. Yeah, I used to talk about this a lot in my like older videos. Actually, they weren't that old. Maybe like my videos from like, I don't know, like 6 months ago. But now I'm just like, these are certain concepts that even I need to revisit. Like the amount of times I've heard like be in the present moment, the past, present, future principles, like all of these. Sometimes even I need reminders. Sometimes we all need reminders. That's why I make these videos. But yeah, let's go and pick one more affirmation here. Okay, I'm always valued and prioritized. Yeah, I feel like I gave you this affirmation, but I'm always valued and prioritized in love, in relationships, in career. Because see, when you're valued and prioritized and you're trying to manifest a job, like your application is going to be like the first one that lands on the reviewer's desk, HR's desk, the interviewer's desk. Like that's how magical manifestation is. Someone will get a ping and be like, you know what, this person's resume is standing out to me. I just feel something about this person's resume. Okay, they will get a ping to contact you to give you an interview, to give you the job, okay, depending on what you're affirming. I like affirming for the end goal. I would just say, oh, I'm so grateful that I got the job. Like, who even cares about the middle or how it happened? I talked about this in another video, but I recently got a raise at work, and I wasn't really affirming specifically for a raise at work, although sometimes I do affirm, like, oh, I always get raises, promotions, bonuses, awards. I was just affirming for more money because I wanted to be able to afford my Apple Vision Pro, and just like, who will say no to, more money? I'm always affirming for money. And then but I specifically wanted that, and that was like Apple Vision Pro was like $4K, and I was easily able to afford that with my raise. Okay, so I would just affirm I'm financially stable, I'm financially abundant, right? You want to be in a dream relationship with your specific person or your dream partner. I am so grateful that I'm in my dream relationship with my specific person. I am so grateful that I'm in the perfect relationship with my person. Okay, it's easy for me to manifest specific outcomes. It's easy for me to manifest specific desires. It's easy for me to manifest specific people to do what I want. Okay, try to relate it back to yourself. It's not really about you changing anything else outside of yourself. It's you changing your perception on things. Why don't you think you can manifest that specific person or that specific job or that specific salary or living in that specific location? Okay, why don't you think that? Actually think about that. Some people have limiting beliefs that they can get down to the root cause of by literally thinking their way out of it. Like when I thought about why I couldn't manifest specific people to do what I wanted, it's because growing up I heard like, oh, you should just be happy with what life gives you. It's evil, it's wrong to manifest specific people. That doesn't even make sense, because we manifest specific things and outcomes all the time. Like even if you have a job, right? Like there was a specific person that like saw your resume and gave you the interview and gave you the job. There's nothing wrong in that. It's your reality. It's not wrong. It's not evil. You're the only person that has free will in your reality. Okay. So yeah, just tell yourself, no, it's easy. I let go of limiting beliefs. There's so many limiting beliefs that other people have projected onto us, which was technically just us if you think about it. It was our limiting beliefs being manifested, right? But, based on certain things that we heard growing up. I know when a lot of us were younger, we didn't really know about conscious manifestation, and we were kind of just in the passenger seat, just internalizing everything that was fed to us. But now that you know about conscious manifestation, understand that you are the top 1% of the world. I think I don't know if this is the exact statistic, but I do think like less than 2% of the world knows about conscious manifestation. The fact that you know about it is like, you're lucky. You're in good hands. Okay, so use that power. Cultivate your own manifestation abilities. Reaffirm for faith in yourself, your manifestation abilities. I think that's really the key. I believe Abraham Lincoln once said that if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. That's literally, you know, applicable to everything in life. Okay, it's your thoughts that help you manifest what you want more than the physical action. Okay, some things, yeah, might require physical action, but honestly, you can do everything with your thoughts. Okay, I genuinely believe that. I think it's a limiting belief to say like, oh, you need to take action. You can do everything with your thoughts. I genuinely believe that even if you didn't apply to jobs, even if you didn't fill out any applications, you didn't have a resume, someone would give you a job just because you affirmed for it. There's a lot of ways that this can play out, and you never have to worry about how maybe you'll meet someone on the street and like, you know, they'll be really impressed by your abilities and they'll just give you a job right then and there. Okay, I mean, I'll be honest, like my job, I didn't have to go through as many interviews as like, you know, other people, because I had references and they just like, they kind of just gave it to me. I didn't chase, I attracted. Actually, like, you know, I had filled out an application for so many different jobs, and I just like ended up getting the job that I did. And I don't think I did much more rather than just filling out the job, and I was part of a group that referred me to that. And you know, someone, like, I even remember my interviewing saying like, oh, you know, there's a manager in insert place, you know, where my manager's at, that was really interested in your resume. And this was before I even knew about conscious manifestation, but like, you know, that specific person got the ping to interview me, to tell HR to interview me, and then someone else got the you know, ping to give me the job. Okay, and again, you never need to worry about how, but this stuff really does work. And all I did at the time, because I got my job in 2019, and I have talked about this a lot, is I just envisioned me writing on Instagram, making an Instagram story that, oh, I'm so grateful that I got my job. I envisioned myself writing a LinkedIn post like, I'm so grateful that I got this job. I would like to thank so and so. Okay, that's all I did. Again, I didn't know about conscious manifestation until like actually the next year. I didn't get into this until 2020. Yeah, but you know, I ended up getting it. I ended up getting my job. I'm still at the job. I'm getting raises. I've gotten promotions. I'm still thriving. I'm still excelling. And I'm not saying this to brag, but to show you that you can receive and sustain your manifestations, but just by having faith and belief in yourself. I actually didn't really believe anything, but because I would just say, like, every single day I express gratitude for my job. I'm not even kidding when I say I say this affirmation verbatim. I'm so grateful for my job, luxury apartment, and financial stability. And I have all of these things, okay? So that's why I highly recommend saying gratitude affirmations, even for things that you don't have, and mix it in with the things that you do have, so it can like trick your brain into thinking that you have all of that, okay? That's actually a method I got from one of the like manifestation books that I was reading, How to Be a Boss Bitch by Quinn, from Selling Sunset. And like, she's super successful. Whatever you think of her, you know, she was a little bit of a controversial character on the show. She is living a life of abundance, okay? And she mixed her affirmations. That's how she got to, you know, where she is. Like, she would affirm for things or express gratitude for things that she already had, and then just like slip in something that she wanted that she didn't have, and then go back to like affirming for things that she had. I don't know if she went back to affirming, but she did something like that, and that's something that I do as well. I can it's all a matter of tricking your mind. It's all a matter of hacking your subconscious mind, okay? Because again, reality is malleable because our brains are malleable. But anyways, I will go ahead and end the video right here. I really hope this helps. You know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You always, oh my gosh, I felt like I was doing a tarot reading. This kind of did feel a little bit like a tarot reading in the beginning because it was more spiritual. But I did want to say that I have a self-concept challenge going on my Patreon, where I give you self-concept affirmations to manifest your specific person. And we also have a signs challenge going on where I give you signs to look for to manifest your specific person, because signs help you reaffirm your faith in your manifestation abilities, and we use the group's collective power to amplify and accelerate our individual manifestations. So if you're interested in that, check out the description box below where you will find my Patreon. You can sign up for that through my Patreon. I also offer in-depth tarot readings as well as manifestation coaching, and also custom make subliminal. So if you're interested in any of these services, check out the description box below where you'll find my website and sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, thank you so much. Love and light.